just whoever talking, so I can kind of see it. Can somebody log into Facebook and check? People watching. It will be like 30 seconds. Okay, yeah, on Facebook. That's important. Do you have Wi-Fi password from the that? I'm just gonna check.
Okay.
Testing, testing. 1 2 1 2. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah. If you had a Wi-Fi, then I can check.
Hello, testing one, two, three. Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me way back there? Right on, thank you. We're going to start in about 5 minutes, so if you want to get comfortable and take your chairs and or stand, it's up to you. I'm Nelson Bird. I'll be your MC today. So they're just preparing for the flag raising and the prayer. So we're just going over the agenda to make sure everybody's here and good to go. Where's your mic? Where's your pin mic? I mean your big mic. Your other mic.
Oh, I don't have a mic
You
stand.
don't have a mic? You don't have
Mic stand.
Can you put your mic up here? Your mic?
Yeah.
I guess just right here. All right. Yeah, go ahead. You do your stuff. Good morning, everybody. I just want to ask all the head people, Cicely, Debbie, to come up here. Cicely, if you're here. Any representatives from the FSIN or Tribal Council to come up to the front here? I also like to ask any other leaders from any First Nations neighboring or far away to come up, and we're going to start here right away, and I'm going to go through the agenda just so you have a good idea what's about to happen today. We have several members of the media here, or at least a few, and we welcome you all. And we just ask that you be respectful and to mind the protocols of what's going on, and just be very respectful of the people that are participating today, especially the more of the traditional sacred ceremonies, and not to be in anybody's face, because you will be asked to leave. So, with that, this is what's going to happen today. We're going to start with the flag song and victory song, followed by a prayer. There's going to be some speeches. I'll introduce each person as they come up. Then there's going to be a ribbon cutting, the tour, lunch, and more things in the afternoon. That's just it in a nutshell. So I'm Nelson Bird. I'm from this reserve, of course, and I'm going to be your MC today. I'd like to start, first of all, with the flag song and the victory song as they raise the flag today. And it's Red Eagle Cree, Pipikasa School, doing the song. Please rise. Please rise if you're able to. Thank you, Red Eagle Cree and dignitaries and leaders of Pepecasis. I know you can't see the flags from where you're sitting through the tent, but the flags they put up this morning from that side to that are the Pepecasis, the FHQ flag, the Every Child Matters flag, and Treaty 4 flag. And they look awesome. So now I would like to invite our elder, Inez Dieter, to come up and say a welcoming and opening prayer. She'll stand over here and not use the microphone. Thank you, Elder Inez. Wow, what a great morning it is. Friday morning, June the 2nd, as we gather here on what is to many of us home. We have a lot of people who were born and raised here, members of Pepecasis, and visitors. Welcome all. Welcome everybody. Welcome from far and wide. This is my home territory. I grew up out here. I was born in Belcaris and raised just probably, 8 kilometers from here, so 10? Oh, we're going to have another song, and sorry about that. We're going to have one more song here, and then we're going to get into the speeches by the dignitaries here. So, here now is Red Eagle Cree once again with an honor song. Thank you. Thank you very much, Reddy. You agree? Everybody have a seat. Get comfortable. We're going to start the program now with a few words from our leader, our elected chief. Chief Frank Dieter is going to come up and say his few words to us. Chief?
Thank you, Nelson. First of all, I just want to acknowledge our Creator God for allowing us to wake up today and gather here as we honor another historic event for our nation. I also want to say good morning to our members who are here, those who are here virtually, our Katayak, our visitors. I want to acknowledge our leaders that traveled from here. We have a couple from the Whitecap Dakota Nation. We have I don't know how you say it, but we have a Muslim group from Regina over there. Welcome. I'm looking in the audience. I don't see any more leadership. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. But I don't want to stare. So I want to send regrets on behalf of our legal counsel. Air Canada is just not providing their services like they used to. They could not make it. And our Steel River group, our partner. So I want to be the first ones to welcome you all to our nation in beautiful Treaty 4 territory. I want to thank our pipe carriers for lifting their pipes this morning. My auntie, Inez Dieter, for rendering that prayer. The Red Eagle Cree Group for the honor song, the flag song, as we started our day in a good way. As we did in 2021, when we celebrated the settling of our claim and the receipt of a national apology from Canada for its wrongdoing to our people in the File Hills colony experiment, we asked again our former chiefs to come and celebrate with us. Today, as we move forward together in the opening of Chief Thunderbird Center. Again, I send regrets on former Chief Bev Bellegarde as she could not get off work today. She's in Black Lake. But we do have former Chief Katayak Enoch here. So, actually, I'm going to get him to come up here right away. Once a chief, you're always a chief. I was told that. So if we could get him up here quickly, just sit with our council, that'd be good. The center has been a communication of years of hard work that started when we were told by our students that they wanted their school back, that they didn't want funerals there anymore because kids should not be seeing spirits. Today I'm proud to say to those young people that the school will now be a place for learning, growing, and preparing them so that they can walk into two worlds. And to our chiefs that have left us, and there's a bunch. I'm going to name a few. Late Chief George Putra, late Chief Aubrey Goforth, late Chief Eugene Putra, late Chief Walter McNabb, late Chief Lyle Denemy, and late Chief Michael Kuchikum. And those that are still with us, Chief Enoch and Chief Bev, we say thank you for laying the path for us to move forward as today. We celebrate another milestone towards a bright future. Today we are standing in the Chief Thunderbird Lodge, a strong name for spiritual space. It is a name that the ancestors gave us when we made offerings in ceremony. The hall, as you see, is named the Veterans Hall in dedication to the many warriors, the men and women who volunteered. And there was, I was just told this morning, there was 90 veterans that came from our nation. So that's why I told the council that I wanted to honor them and name that hall in memory of them, Veterans Hall. The men and women who volunteered and those memories, we will be able to come together and celebrate, mourn, and heal as a nation. Our journey to heal has taken us from the righting of the wrongs of the Five Hills Colony experiment to the creation of a space that will support our journey as we move forward. We are strong, diverse, and resilient, and we will continue to move towards healing and reconciliation. When we had our pipe ceremony, I started off by telling the men in the group there that everybody has memories of this area right here. My memories, I used to bike from the east side and come here every evening. There was 5 ball diamonds just to the north of us. And those ball diamonds are always packed with ball players. Our powwow grounds. This was where the first powwow was back in the early days. I don't know what years those were, but it was before me. The new building. There was once a white and green building here that had many memories. One of my memories was coming into the office here with my mom and dad, and the first person I seen was late Gilbert Sr., Keewatin. And as I got older, he always looked the same. So that was a good memory. A good memory to I don't know where he is, my buddy, my brother, Errol. Oh, there he is. A good memory of your dad, Errol. So another one was my mom, who I remember coming here and we played chip bingo. And I knocked all her chips off the bingo cards. So I don't know if she won. I made a joke today at the pipe ceremony that Enoch and his family actually lived in this building here, and I jokingly said that's where Joe was created. So, and you know, this is a memory for my daughter. She's right there. She's 8. My grandson who's sitting behind her. These little guys that are right here. They're gonna have memories of today, and other memories that they're gonna share with their grandkids. They're going to go on and tell their grandkids that this is a legacy project. My musha, my cookums are here when it was built. And with that, I say thank you. Hi.
Thank you, Chief. And indeed, we all have memories of this place. And it's interesting how when we get together in little social settings and visiting, there was a ceremony here about 2 weeks ago, and there was a sweat lodge, and the teepee that you see behind me was officially inducted through a sacred ceremony. And we sat around. I was part of that day, and it was a great day. But we sat around and we visited, and we talked about how some of our memories are of this exact spot. There was a concession stand, an old gray building that used to sell hot dogs and hamburgers during sports days. There was a beer gardens, believe it or not, for 1 or 2 years. I was very briefly there. They cut the grass, they cut the trees, and I remember my mom and dad sitting in there drinking beer. And they wouldn't let us in, but it was kind of cool to see a beer garden. And what's a beer garden when you're a small kid? They didn't grow beer there, they drank it. And of course, the building we call the Hill that Chief alluded to briefly here, and how we remember that building. We remember going inside, the smell, the sound, the look, the basement, which was kind of scary to some of us because it seemed that people would tell me, that's where they used to keep the bodies. And when you're a small kid, that's kind of scary to some of us. I don't know how much of that is true, but that was right about there. I was visiting with Theo Akipu, who we grew up with as kids, and we were sitting at the picnic table in front of the store 2 weeks ago, and we're saying, remember this very spot where we're sitting right now was where that building was. Probably the door right about there. We can almost imagine this location 40 years ago. Kind of aging myself there, even 50 years ago. So now I want to get into some more people who are going to speak here and have some brief comments. It's very small print, so don't mind me. I want to invite up Reimagine architect Richard Isaac.
Thank you very much. It is a great honor to be invited here, but it was also a great honor to have been chosen as the architectural firm for this project. Our team, one of them is here is Deranger, who was worked during the construction of it, and I was the architect that did the original design. And our structural engineer from Edmonton is Fastenep, and we had Reimagined Consultants and Fox Engineering for mechanical, and Kafka for landscape. And an essential part of the team was also Gary Bosgood, who was the project manager, who kept us all in line and kept us on budget and on time, which was kind of a difficult thing to do because we all wanted to spend more and take longer. And an essential part of any project is also the completion of it and how it's built. And we have Jody here today from CCR, who was a fabulous builder of the project. He's sitting at the back there. And we really want a CCR in Edmonton, Jody. If ever you want to expand, we're looking for that. So everybody else has longer memories of this place and this project, but for me, the memory only extends back to 2017, where we had our first meeting in Edmonton with the chief and some of the members of the band council. And we discussed things such as the vision and what kind of risks there are and how we would mitigate those risks in a workshop. And one of the first things we had to do was to choose a site. This was one of 3 possible locations. There was one further in that direction and one closer to the entrance to the community. And in the end, this was chosen as the most appropriate and best place for the new building. From an architectural point of view, the driving force for the shape of the building was actually the medicine wheel and its 4 directions, which we actually have represented in the building, and also its connection with the powwow grounds and the circular nature, or circular shape of it, and the fact that there's a connection between the 2 on an axis. And in addition to the circular medicine wheel, is the idea of wrapping and protecting and a blanket. So you can see that in the silver part of the front here as it wraps around the center. That's to represent a blanket. And also, if you go inside, the light fixture is a smaller representation of that. It circles around as a wrapping motif. It's also important to us to make sure that we had enough wall space to be able to celebrate the veterans, because that was an important part of the feature of the building, that we celebrate the war veterans that came from Pipikasis. And to end up, I really hope that the citizens of Pipikasis First Nation will really enjoy the building, that they'll be able to make use of the community hall as a place for celebration, both for sad celebration and also for happy ones. A place for the children to start out in the daycare. A place for governance in the council chamber. And also a place for commerce, and somewhere where you can buy gas on your own reserve, and also snacks and so on. So I thank everybody who invited us to be the architects, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, Richard. I know another Richard Isaac. There's 2. I also want to acknowledge our elder once again. I'm going to go and give her a gift because you don't have to get up. I'll come to you. Okay. And looking at and listening to Richard talk about the building and its beauty and its architect, you know, I still think of the old days. Who remembers the water pump across the road? Who remembers Albert Dieter getting water and delivering it to their houses? Well, I do. Good memories. Okay, I'd like to invite up now from CCR Construction, Jody Haas. There he is.
Hi there.
First of all, thanks to the chief and council for inviting us to say a few words. It's a great day. It's nice and warm. Don't have to worry about the dust blowing in here today. So happy to be here. Happy to celebrate. This has been a long time in coming, this building. We were actually working down the road on the water treatment plant several years back, and we had caught wind that this facility was coming, and we saw the sign come up, and we heard little tidbits, but we thought, would we be so lucky to be able to participate in a building such as this? I've never worked on anything as imaginative. Richard, I don't know how you dreamt this design, and to chief and council and previous chiefs and council before, how they were able to construct a vision and to insist on building such a beautiful building as a monument, you know, for the future that's it's gonna last through generations. Long story short, we ended up putting in a bid for the project, and we were successful. We were chosen to do the work, but we knew that we were capable to build the building, but we were gonna judge our success on how many people participated in it locally. And with our roots in the community, building the water treatment plant, working at the school, over the years, we'd established a lot of contacts here, local laborers, and I thought, you know, if we could get even 30% local participation, that would be a success. And we started out building, and I see some of the faces around here and some of the wives of the people that worked long and hard here, and I don't even know where Ernie is today, but he's working somewhere. He's too busy to be here. We ended up with over 50% local participation in the labor. And I would like to take credit for that, but I can't take credit for that. The credit has to be given to the people over here that believed in us. We said we were gonna do it, but we all know people can say things and not follow up on it. We were able to deliver that because they believed in us. They gave us a chance, and happy that we were able to deliver this building. Again, anybody that goes in there, I sort of look at it from my own personal standpoint as somebody that grew up wanting to build things, wanting to design things. If I'm a kid at school here and I think I want to be an architect, or I think I want to be a builder, and I walk into this building and I see the most imaginative space you can actually dream of and think, well, that's what I want to do someday. I want to build something like that. It's truly a great symbol for the community, and you know, this is a symbol. This was given to me from Alan. I traded him for a hoodie, I think, for this thing, but he gave me this Pepikis flag, and I displayed it proudly in my truck until I realized that the colors were fading on it. So I put it in my office now and thought today would be a nice day to bring it out. But it's a symbol. This building is a symbol. It's a symbol of a new chapter, I think, for Pepikis as they move forward, as Chief referenced with the land claim settlement. And as you move forward, you have this beautiful building, very important building. The decisions that are going to be made in here are going to shape this community for generations to come, and you're going to be well served by it. And we're here to support you. Again, very grateful that we were invited to participate in this, that somebody believed in us, and we're happy to be able to deliver it. So thanks again, and much appreciated.
Well, talk about perfect timing. I'd like to call up now someone on the list who's very well respected throughout Saskatchewan in all treaty areas. And this is, FSIN 3rd Vice Chief, Ali Bear. I had to make sure I got the 3rd Vice Chief.
Hahana Washday. Good morning, everybody. First and foremost, I want to give thanks to the Creator for gathering all of us here today and getting me here. We got a little bit lost, but made it here just on time. And give thanks to those that lifted the pipe this morning, and our elders for the opening prayers. And I want to give thanks to our leadership, Chief Dieter, nice to see you, and all our council headwomen and headmen here today. Also, acknowledge the youth, the children that are sitting here in the crowd. It's nice to see the kids here, and such an important day. And also leadership from my home community, Whitecap Dakota First Nation. It's nice to see you guys here too, to support such an important event and this lodge that's going to be, opening today. To have a community center is really important for each and every single one of our nations to be able to gather in a safe space and to be able to understand who we are and revitalize our traditional ways and our traditional laws and be able to have those discussions with our old and with our young together. This is something that all of our nations need. So, I just, a huge shout out to Papixi's First Nation for doing this for their people and for their nation. This is so important, and something that I think a lot of our other nations are going to be following suit on too. So, very spearheading the way when it comes to things that our communities need, and when it comes to taking care of the future generations and making sure they know who they are, making sure they have their identity. Because I think that's a huge part of moving forward, and that's a huge part of what colonization has done to us. It's taken away our identity, and it's made us, feel ashamed of who we are, but now we're taking that back. We're taking back our identity, our language, our culture, our traditional ways. And, when we're reminding our little ones who they are so they can be proud of who they are, so that, when things happen in life, like climate change and pandemics and mental health and addiction issues, it's important that they have their roots and they know who they are so they can weather the storms that happen. Because storms are going to continue to happen. And they're going to be able to have to stand strong. And they need those roots and connections to who they are. And that's a part of this Thunderbird Lodge and what leadership here is doing today for the future generations. So I want to give thanks for their hard work. And, I'm going to give them a round of applause. And I'm very honored to be here for this grand opening, and I hope to continue to see community centers like this throughout our region and our territory. So thank you very much for having me here today. Padame matakoas.
Thank you, Chief. I'd like to invite one of our visiting guests from Whitecap here, Dwayne Eagle, to come up and just say a word or two, or somebody, one of the two, or both. Come on up. Welcome to Pepecasis.
Good morning, everybody. I want to thank our elder for the opening prayer. Acknowledge Chief and Council, all the members here. My name is Dwayne Eagle. Because of colonization, we changed my name from Red Eagle to Eagle. So it was close to my heart that when you hear the Red Eagle Cree singers singing, that was very special for me. I'd like to acknowledge Riel Bellegarde. I got elected in 2003, and so shortly thereafter, I met Riel, so it's been almost 20 years that we've been working together on different projects. Anyway, I acknowledge my wife here and some of our band members and staff that are here today. And Allie, of course, my niece Allie, wherever she is. And Councillor Frank Roy will say a few things in our language.
Yo matakiapi, iskia wachia kapi. Frank Roll Makiapido, Chante Washtea and Apache Usapi. Hello, my friends and relatives. Good to see you all. My name is Frank Royal. I shake all your hands with a good heart. And glad to be here. And I'd like to congratulate Chief Dieter and Council for the grand opening of their beautiful facility and looking forward to the tour. And I'd like to acknowledge the leadership that are here, Vice Chief, Chief and Council, former chiefs, community members and elders. I'd like to thank the elder for the prayer this morning and the drum group for beautiful songs and the pipe carriers for lifting the pipes this morning. So with that, we're just going to do a quick presentation to the chief with a print from our community, from Whitecap, Dakota, on behalf of Chief Bear and the community of Whitecap. We're presenting this to Chief Dieter and the community of Pepecasis.
Thank you very much, our visitors from Whitecap, Dakota First Nation. It's a great honor to have you here, and that beautiful picture is probably going to find a great place. You'll notice today when you get to tour the building, the artwork is very prominent throughout, and I had a chance to get a full tour a few weeks ago and months ago and seen the offices where so many people have these beautiful artwork all over the building. You'll see it all soon. But you'll also see the store. And if you take a drive down the road about a kilometer or less, there's a dispensary. If you need to get some pot on your way home, that's where you go. I hear it's good. I actually never been there before, but it's my sister works there. That's why she's not here. But I'd like to invite a couple of people who play a huge role in that dispensary and in the store from Canco. Cordell and Ratchet, please.
Tanse, Cordell Makokis, Nitsiga Sun, Unix Kapunik Utsinia. I just want to thank you guys today for the opportunity. I want to thank our elder for her prayer today. I sat with the brothers this morning in a pipe ceremony blessing this building, and it was an honor to sit with leadership and share their vision for their people here. Originally, I'm from Sad Lake, born and raised, and I've been working for a fuel company, and actually we started 2 years ago. We met Chief here. And that's how long the project took, 2 years. We started meeting him, and they wanted to share their vision of having a nice Canco community store where they could be proud of, and their people could work there, and they could have something to be proud of. So with that, I'll introduce you to one of our regional managers, Ratchet, with Canco, and he could just say a few words.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, everybody, for inviting us here, and thank you to Chief and Council for giving us this opportunity to build this store here and be part of this project. And we are very happy to be part of the community, serving them, throughout the time, and helping them and feeling them proud that they own a nice convenience store, and we are very blessed to be part of it. And in future, whichever opportunity comes where we can help and support the community, we would love to do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are going to hear some brief remarks from our leadership here today, and they're going to come up and be very brave. Look at them. We'll start with my older brother, Alan Bird, who's been on council for, 30 years almost, or 25? Long time. He's been there a long time. First of all, I'll invite him up to say a few words, please. Brother, Alan.
Thank you. Now, first I want to acknowledge this morning starting off in a good way with our prayers, our pipe ceremony, and our songs, and seeing our beautiful teepee behind us here. Our blessed teepee, as Nelson mentioned, a few weeks ago we had a ceremony to bring out our painted teepee. And all of you here, I see our students here from the school, I see our visitors here that traveled here. I see Riel, I was teasing him this morning, I called him his old job there. But me and Riel get along good. And all those that came, our White Cap is here. And many nations this morning we had a pipe. We had the Nakota pipe, my nephew, Anthony Patra and Tim Patra. We have our Dakota visitors here. We have our circle here, all the different races here today. And that's good to see. It shows 2023, we came a long way now. And we can unite within that circle in a good way. You see our teepee, I'll go back to our teepee again, our buffalo. You see the buffalo. You see the smoke coming from the smudge bowl, our prayers. We all have prayers no matter what nationality, what race we are. Our buffalo, that's our past. And that's who we are today, yet. We're the buffalo people. We come from the buffalo, the plains. You see our flag on the back, our colors of our flag flies today. You see our identity of who we are, Pipikasis. Our teepee will be taken to many gatherings to show Pipikasis will be here. Pipikasis, I always say, is in the house. That's one of my sayings. Our store, Canco. I thank my brothers here joining in the pipe this morning, going back a few years, Canco. Our store name is Buffalo Hill Gas and Convenience. That name came from where we are, we heard today, the hill. We're on the hill. This whole area of the sports stage is called the hill. And down the road here, 2 miles, we have our buffalo herd. We have 70 buffalo over there, and we have 9 bulls over here. Our herd that we've shared over the years and moved them forward and to Zygame, Snabik First Nation, and to Pheasant Rump this past winter. We share. That's our way. That's our old people taught us, and we got to carry on that way. And I sit here today, this morning, thinking of the boys singing Red Eagle Cree, where we sit here. We talk about sports, baseball. We talk about the old day school. We talk about the beer garden. But also here, right over here, on this side, was a powwow ground. Our ancestors, my adopted family, McNabb family, their dad, late Fred McNabb, singer, dancer. We used to have our gatherings there. I remember being a little boy going there. They had the old army-style tents, the teepees, the trees and the poplar trees on top, maybe 1 or 2, 3 drums in the middle, and all the dancers dancing around. I think the only one that had the shade was the singers. Everybody else had to dance in the sun. Those are good memories. And I remember over here where the dispensary is, you see a lake there. On the map, it's called Lake Miles. You'll see on the map. But we call it because Hedman Blaine lives right along the lake, beachfront property. We call it Blaine Lake. And my little brother said, remember growing up here and being born here, right on that lake there was a nest. And that one egg was Nelson Bird. But I'm very thankful to be here today and to be a part of this and see where we came. As I heard mentioned, Chief and Council of the day, my fellow leadership, Chief and Council, Chief and past Council of yesterday and prior, going 3 terms, coming to where we are with our negotiations and coming to a beautiful building, our spa in Moose Jaw, and a lot more to come yet. I know that. I can see that for our children. I see our young men here. We're going to have a lot. And I said, Chief made fun of me about the game today. We have an agenda, a ball game with the police, eh? And I was bugging them the other day. How come we're playing ball? We should be playing hockey so we can hit them and get away with it, you know? How we used to. In that rink right there. Hey, Wranglers. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, brother. Old brother. He's the second oldest in our family. I have older brother Murray and Carl, who's here somewhere over there, and my sister is at the dispensary. I'd like to call up. All right. All right. One of our guest speakers has arrived, a little late, Indian time, but he's a chief. He's a leader. He can do that. We all know him, FHQTC. Ladies and gentlemen, Tribal Chief Jeremy Fourhorns. He likes to make an entrance.
Good morning, everybody. On behalf of File Hills Capel Tribal Council, our 11 nations, 10 other ones, 18,000 citizens combined, I want to congratulate the community of Pepeeksis, the leadership of Pepeeksis, and the membership of Pepeeksis for the building here, the grand opening. To have a building like that, I took a tour maybe about a month and a half ago before it was fully complete to have a quick look. It's a very impressive building. There's not a lot of things like that, and I've been to a lot of places. You know, so it's something that is really nice, and it's a good thing to see in our area, because we don't get to see sometimes very many things like this here. So I want to congratulate your community on that accomplishment. So the whole being late part. So AFN had a health legislation forum in Toronto yesterday and the day before. So they ended early yesterday around noon, and I was supposed to fly back today. But since they ended early, I thought, okay, well, I'll change my flight. I'll fly back today, and I'll be back, and I'll be there in the morning. So it was fine. Then they delayed 5 hours. Supposed to leave at 2. They didn't leave till 6, going to 7. And then because of the rain and all that, Regina has a very short runway because they're redoing the main one. And the size of plane that we were on, we could see Regina. We're circling around. We kept passing it. But after maybe about 45 minutes, they said, no, we can't land. The plane is too big and that runway is too short, especially if there's rain on it. So we went back to Winnipeg. Then we sat there in Winnipeg till about 11:30 last night before they finally said, okay, well, no, it's not going to stop raining, so we're just going to keep everyone here. So I should have been getting on that plane in about 5 minutes. But the rental car was still open last night. And there was another guy from Cody, Ivan Cody. He was also on the same flight. So I asked Ivan, feel like going for a drive? He said, yeah. He said, I want to get home. So we left at midnight, and we got back to Regina at 5 this morning. And I slept in a little bit because I fell asleep. I had this plan I'd stay up and I'd be all right, but it's a little bit tough when you start sleeping for a couple hours. But aside from all of that, I'm happy to be here. You know, I did want to be here, and I did shoot to be on time. Just didn't turn out that way. But again, you know, it's a really great facility, and I'm happy to be a part of it today. Thank you.
Wow, that is a great being late story. That is really, can't beat that. He drove all night. And I know that Regina Airport is going through a lot of stuff right now, so I applaud you so much for making that effort to be here today. One of the other people from Pepeeksis member also who is here today, played a huge role in what we're doing, is Gary Bosgood. Gary is here, and I'd like to invite him up to say a few words. He's with Bosgood Consulting.
I'll leave that there. Good morning, everyone. Elders,
councils from other places, grand vice chiefs. I'm really glad to be here today. You'll find most of my very close relatives in the graveyard just over here, but I'm related to all of you, and I see friends and family here, and it's great to see that. I live in Edmonton now. I'm a professional engineer, and I manage projects, mostly Indigenous projects, mostly First Nations projects in Saskatchewan and Alberta. This project is incredibly unique. Not only is it for my home community, it's the only project I've managed which for the last 7 or 6 years, Chief and Council was the project team. That's the first time in my career, and probably ever will happen, that Chief and Council were there every step of the way. Quorum wasn't achieved, we had another meeting, we made decisions that way, and I really, really appreciate the commitment of Council. There's reasons why projects work in my world, and that's because of commitment from the community. This project started with visioning sessions that some of you were involved with. The architect is a great architect. Richard did a great job, but he was inspired by what he heard in those workshops 6 years ago. The idea, the concept, we had more than one for this site and for any site. And it was a result of what he was told in those sessions. We were in Fort Qu'Appelle, we were at the school, we had all of these meetings to sort of land on the concept. We did a business plan based on that concept, and we've handed the business plan over to the community so they can continue to make sure that it's operating the way it was designed and it can continue to be sustainable for the community. So all of that planning went into this 6 years ago. We competed for the right to be here. It was a great thing when you're living in Edmonton to then be selected to do work in your community, which, you know, we joke in consulting almost never happens that you work for your own community, but we were very fortunate and honored to be working on something in our own community. We had other partners that came along the way. You've heard from Canco. Canco competed for the privilege of being here, and they won a competitive process. The First Nations Bank was part of this project in financing. They also faced a competitive process, and they won. All of that because leadership expected those processes to be followed, representing, you know, you in terms of getting best value on the project. So we're very, very grateful for the support, very grateful that they supported the process. Other reasons this works, of course, the claim, you know, we started this project before the claim was ratified, before the votes. You know, a lot of consultants, including Reimagine Architect, kind of carried the project while it was going through that process to keep the design moving forward, and we're very grateful for their commitment to the community to do that. Of course, the trustees then, the trust was set up. And also, that kind of support makes this project work. And all of that was, and your input and your support. And last but not least, when CCR shows up, the first thing they did was they found an item to cut $50,000 out of the budget. And without a lot of push, they found band members to work on the project. And those band members did a fantastic job, and I'm so grateful of the quality of workers. We're not only the best looking community in the country, but we did excellent work to build this with our own hands, our own commitment, our own struggles, and our own celebrations of the success we had. So I'll always remember this project as one of our best ones. It represents the community I'm from. I can see every person that was part of that process reflected somewhere in this building. And I wish it all the success in the future. We're project people, so we've moved on to other projects. But for this one, I'll be coming back here for the rest of my life to share in the success of what this legacy project can be for the community. So thank you for allowing me to be part of that. Thank Council, thank everyone, thank the elders. My friend Enoch here was part of that process, and I'm really, really grateful we could do this for our ancestors and for our future and our grandchildren. So thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you, Gary. It gives me great pride to be from this reserve, and I've always made sure that wherever I went in my career, that I told everybody wherever I was that I'm from Pepikasis. And sometimes, you know, I'm far away, and I'll look at an audience and I'll say, "Has anybody ever been to Pepikasis?" You know, a few hands go up. Sometimes, "Is anybody from Pepikasis?" Sometimes one or two. And I always do that every time I go, especially to the north. Sometimes people can't pronounce our reserve's name, though. I've heard Pepikissis. I had a fellow journalist working with me for years, and he'd say, Pepikissis. and I'd correct him. He did it jokingly until one day he went on television and said it the wrong way. And I was like that Leonardo DiCaprio guy looking at the TV saying, ha, he did it wrong. But that's a very common mistake many people make on First Nations names. I've heard Kawakatus, I've heard Muskawikawan, and of course, Cody as Cote. They like to make it fancy. But Pipikasis is our home. And I would like to now invite up another headman who has been a friend all my life, neighbor. Sorry, yeah, okay. Sorry, I got to call up Gary here. Gary, please come up here. Thank you, Gary. And I'll call up Blaine now to come up and say a few words and keep it short. We're doing really good for time. We're gonna hit it right on time.
Thank you, Nelson. First of all, I'd like to thank the Creator for this beautiful day He's created for us to gather here to a very honored day. I have to say a few words. I was asked to go ask Donald Kutchicum to do the pipe. He sends his regrets. He explained to me why he couldn't be here today. So I sat with him and we prayed that day with him and prayed for the opening of this new center we have here. Like I said, we come a long ways. Pipikasis has come a long ways. We have to admire the health center, the school, now this building. And now we own the spa in Moose Jaw. And also we put some money away in trust for future generations of our people. As I was sitting down there, I was trying to think of what I'm supposed to say here today, and I forgot all of what I'm supposed to say. But anyway, I'll carry on as much as I can. I'd like to thank the elders for being here today. I'd like to thank the cook and that said the prayer. Very honored. I'd like to thank the pipe carriers that lifted their pipes. Very honored to do that as well. The people of Pipikasis, I thank you for being here. People of other nations, I thank you for being here. Our visitors that are here from other areas, thank you for being here with us to share this special day for us. As we go forward, I'm thinking about a few years ago when I sat with Gary. I didn't think we'd ever get to this day where I'd see this building come up. It seemed like it was quite a struggle as we made plans to build this building. It seemed very hard, but we went to the people and we asked what the people, what they wanted. It was a very important part in Gary's planning there. And as you can see, he did a very well job of it. I'd like to thank the chief, my other counselors and head women and this is the first time I've ever working with two head women. So I have to really toe the line sometimes with these women, but I'm okay. I'll be okay with them. But anyway, it was very honored to stand before you. I'd like to say thank you very much for each and every one of us for being here. And Alan wanted me to mention a few nights ago, the Thunderbirds came in and they blessed this place. That's what he wanted to mention. Hi.
Thank you, Blaine, friend, neighbor. I'd like to call up our next council headman. This fellow here is my first cousin, and his name is Desmond Denemy.
Thanks, Nelson. Yes. Chief told us to get ready, so I have like 6 pages here. Brief. Tansei. I would like to acknowledge and thank foremost God, Kitchamanatu. I go to Cree classes, so. Secondly, I would like to, the elder that said the prayer, Kateak, the pipe carriers, all the, my nephews that lifted the pipe the elected officials who are present today, and my fellow team, Chief Frank, Alan, Debbie, Cicely, Matt, Blaine, and our past leadership. I just want you to put your hands together for our past leadership because they work very hard for this place. The Papikassis band, the health, the maintenance, the house, the school staff, all of Papikassis Cree Nation. And last but not least, my wife, Joy, my children, Nina, Des Jr., and Tess, and my grandchild that has a picture in front of that teepee this morning. Today is a day that we celebrate. Today is not no other day today, but it is our nation to celebrate. Our nation, Papikassi Cree Nation, is celebrating. So put your hands together, not for anybody else, but for yourself today. We celebrate this beautiful day. Point 1 out of 11. No, just kidding. The people who work towards making this happen, the future of Papikassis and all the new opportunities that are still going to happen. As a child, I was raised here. I used to come to the sports days here. We even had the spider here. It was a carnival. I think it was a carnival. One of my cousins threw up on me in one of those carnivals. And we grew up here with minor ball. We used to celebrate July 1st. We were the biggest July 1st ball tournament here. And with 32 teams, I remember. Plus with minor ball on top of that. And at that rink, if you look at that rink, that there was 9 teams present in Five Hills here that played at that rink. And the biggest trade happened. I used to be a Raider, but I got traded to the Wranglers. I could hold off my autographs for later. But today, we celebrate. I want to thank everybody for working so hard. Thank you, Papikassis. Hi, hi.
Thank you, Kazi. I'd like to call up now head person Debbie Dieter, who is also a lifelong friend and neighbor.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. My name is Debbie Dieter. My married name is Hill. I always call myself Over the Hill, Debbie Hill. I'm very thankful to be here today, and I welcome every single one of you that are here. I'm really glad to meet Reimagine, Gary Bosgood. I met CCR before. You know, it was really awesome working and learning alongside of you guys for the last 2.5 years. I learned so much as to how this process occurs and how we end up with a fabulous building like this. And so I really thank you guys for that learning process. I grew up here and I moved away when I was in my 20s, but nevertheless, I was back and forth. I played ball for 35 plus years. I was always out at band meetings, events. Of course, all my family, tons of Dieters in the cemetery out east here. It's my home. This is my home. 50 years ago, we lived in the hall, that we used to call it the hall here up on the hill. And I brought my first newborn son home to this hall up on the hill. 3 years later, we moved out. So this area has a lot of meaning for me. And I'm really glad that we get to celebrate today. I see a vision, for our large nation. We have over 3,000 members in our nation. And I see other nations very, counting on those numbers, for success. And I can see that we're going to do that because we're only going to get larger. And without those numbers, we really aren't a nation unless we include all those numbers. And so I see that as part of our future, a part of them welcoming everybody home when we have events such as this in our community, such as our powwow every year. And so I really, and I'm also thankful. I have an aunt here, Aunt Ines, that said the prayers. She is my only remaining aunt on the Dieter side, and so I'm very thankful to have her here, and all the elders that are present here today. So with that, thank you all for coming and celebrating with us, and let's have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. I would like to also call up one of our newest head persons. She is a descendant of one of our former chiefs also, and her name is Cicely. Cicely Patra, you want to come on up? I knew her since she was a little girl.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Nelson, for today and coming out and being the MC and some good words. I just want to thank everyone for showing up today. I want to acknowledge our chief, Ali Bear, our leadership from Whitecap Dakota Nation. I also want to acknowledge our former chief, Enoch. I also wanted to acknowledge our pipe carriers today, who lifted the pipes today, and Inez for that beautiful prayer today. I also want to thank everyone for coming out today and showing their appreciation for Papicasees and where we're at and where we're going to go. I want to thank Cordell for Canco and the Real Leaf. I'm a little nervous. I also wanted to just, let everybody know that we are doing really well in Papicasees. There's a lot of stuff going around, but today is a good day for celebration for our nation, and I just want to acknowledge that. I also want to acknowledge our membership. Without our membership, we wouldn't be where we are today. So with that, I just want to, also I want to acknowledge all the staff today. I want to make sure, they did a real good job getting the community ready, getting the sub ready, getting everything out here, beautiful buildings looking beautiful. I just wanted to share a little story. So I was taking my master's, and this is for CCR. I was taking my master's at Saddle Lake at Blue Quills, and I had to withdraw in December, but I was working on a community plan with Architect, and I come in and CCR came in to show us the structure of the building, but I seen the structure already. So I went in and I told everybody, let's look at the blueprints. I said, because I think you guys are putting the siding on wrong. I said, one's going this way, the other one's going this way. It doesn't look right to me. Right? So that was my little story for CCR, because this is new equipment from Switzerland or whatever. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but it didn't look right to me anyways. But with that, I just want to thank everyone for coming out, and have a good day, and yeah, looking forward to the future. Thank you.
All right. It is a very interesting, and you'll see that shortly, but there's parts you probably won't see, but I have a really keen interest in boilers and refrigeration and heating because that was my former career. So I got a tour from TJ about 3 months ago. I saw the heating system in this building. The boiler system is a hot water boiler system. And what's interesting is that those boilers are about big as a washing machine, and they heat this whole building. I was blown away because I've never seen such a thing. The technology today is just amazing. So this is a high-tech building. And speaking of high-tech and new, I'd like to introduce now probably the most well-dressed head person. I want to say the most hardest working, but I know they all work hard. Youngest, and his name is Matthew Lara. Welcome. You look great.
morning, everybody. It's nice to see each and every one of you here today with our big day, our celebration of our new building here. You know, it feels good to walk in this building and have our meetings, do our work here. You know, I really enjoy it, looking around, sitting at a nice big round table with the AC on, enjoying ourselves in here. So it feels good to walk in something new, to work hard for the future. You know, I see a lot of our Kateak here also that are here with us today. Also our children, you know, that's the future that they'll be working in this building someday also. I'm blessed to be sitting with part of the team here, the council, of our former Chief Enoch here, who is with us quite a bit of the times in our meetings, so thankful for him for that. Yeah, I'd like to thank CCR and all the guys that they hired through their company from the nation here that got to be part of the project. I guarantee every time they drive by, they say, I built that building, I worked on that building, so that's something the guys do and say when they drive by projects that they've been a part of, that they worked on. I know I say that on housing and buildings, stuff that I've worked on in the past, so I'm a builder myself. I never worked on this building, but I could appreciate it and enjoy sitting in it, and the design from Richard, the project management from Gary. Yeah, just nice to be out here today and look forward to the day and getting a tour and eating some steak with everybody and having a good day. Thank you.
Good job, Matthew, future chief. Before we get to one of our elders and former leaders to say a few words, I want to invite Rob Nibbs up here. Rob is with Morris Interactive. Rob, if you'd come up and say a few words on behalf of your company and what you've done here. There he is. Sorry, Matthew too? Yes, and it's Matthew also, sorry.
Tansei, good morning. My name's Matthew Say. I'm the CEO at Morse Interactive, and I'm really honored to be here and bring greetings on behalf of our organization. We've been able to get to learn and know the Papikissis Cree Nation community since about 2016, working alongside the band and administration on lots of different projects we've been asked to get involved in. But more importantly, I just wanted to, I'm just really grateful to be, for all that I've learned from the past administration, the current administration. I'd like to thank the elder for the prayer. And I just feel like the Papikissis Cree Nation is one of the communities that I've just learned so much from. I want to thank you for teaching me about your ways of being, inviting me and Rob here into the pipe ceremony this morning. It's yeah, you guys really treat us like family and partners, and it's I have just learned so much. So it got me thinking about what could I bring, and you know what have I learned that I could pass on that you might be able to take forward. And I think one of the things I've seen, and you know, this building is just incredible, but great things like this don't happen without exceptional teamwork. And you see all the partners and all the people that made this happen. And it made me think of a book that I've learned a lot about that I wanted to leave here as a gift. And it sounds like a negative connotation, but it's called The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. And really, if you employ things to create an environment where you can foster trust, engage in healthy conflict and debate, commit to a cause, instill accountability, and achieve results, I think really that's what the community embodies here. I feel like I will never know how much this community has overcome, but I just feel like this group has really been rising up, and seems to be just the beginning. And I think there's one group that isn't here today that could learn a lot from you about teamwork, and that's the Toronto Maple Leafs. Sorry, Des. And we've been really fortunate to work along and help get the Off-Reserve Economic Development Group, Sparrowhawk Developments, off the ground. Thank you for the opportunities to serve there. My colleague Rob Nibbs has been a big part of that and spent a lot of time here. Had the chance to sleep in a teepee at the last powwow, and with that, I just want to say hi, thanks. I appreciate the opportunity to be here and be amongst you all to celebrate today.
Thank you, everyone in the community. As you see, we brought a team today. My name's Rob Nibbs, and I've been honored for the last couple of years. While this amazing project was undergoing, to work with Chief and Council on another project, which was acquiring Temple Garden Spas in Moose Jaw. So that was, again, thank you to past Chief and Council and current Chief and Council for entrusting Morris Interactive in that task. And what I really enjoyed in that process, while we were doing that work, Chief and Council was working so hard on seeing this project through as well. And as I came out to the community, I'd see a little bit more work and a little bit more work. We saw everything structured up and a roof go up, and to see it complete today is amazing. So for everyone involved, Chief, Council, everyone in the community, all the stakeholders, congratulations on this project. It's a beautiful building, and what a legacy for this community. And again, all the friendly faces I've met in the last couple of years here, great to see you all. Thanks for the invitation, and we look forward to working with everyone in the future. Hi.
Thank you, gentlemen. Doing really good time. So now, before we get to the ribbon cutting and to the unveiling, basically, for many of you who have not seen it, I want to ask our former chief, well-respected Elder Enoch Patra, to say a few words, and I'm just going to take the microphone to him.
Good day, everybody. Beautiful day. First of all, I want to start with acknowledging the pipe carriers lifting their pipes this morning, the elder for saying the prayer, and the drum grove for singing those beautiful songs. But that's who we are, and we never forget that. But I owe a lot of stuff to everybody, so much, because I could have never, ever been here if it wasn't for so many people in my life. My mom and dad just started probably as a baby. I was growing up, taught me right from wrong, how to work. Get out there and do it. And my brothers and sisters, they were pretty bossy with me, the older ones anyway. The younger ones weren't. But my brother Joe, he was the oldest. I owe so much to him, because he was none of us liked him because he was so bossy. Told us what to do all the time. But that's the way it is growing up. And then I had the visitation with a lot of the old people. I was so lucky. We didn't have cars, we didn't have phones, we didn't have stuff like that. So we spent a lot of time visiting. And a lot of the old past leaders, I used to visit them. I never ever thought I'd be a leader. But they taught me so much, and I owe them all so much for all the teachings they gave me, and how to live with honesty, humility, respect, things like that. And I want to thank my wife for being a big supporter of myself. I enjoyed life when I was young, and I think PPC was a nation of athletes. We all had a bunch of athletes here all the time throughout our history. We had ball teams here, we had hockey teams, we had all kinds of stuff. Now we got bow and arrow guys, you know. So nice to see this carrying on. But we'll never quit. We'll always be who we are. But we gotta, sometimes we forget who we are and we have to learn. And I know we've come through rough times. Stuff were taken away from us. Residential school, I lived through that. And they did a lot of damage to us. But I'll always be thankful for growing up here. Like that whole school is right here where the band building is. I came here 1 year in grade 3, and we had our farm instructor was old Hilderman, and our teacher was Mrs. Hilderman. She was one of our teachers. Some of you will probably remember that. I've seen Alfred here, Simon, Alfred Swanson, and there's probably many others. But it's good to see Gary Bosgood. He grew up, his old grandpa was just across the hill over there by the church. I told Gary, your old grandpa used to be the fire maker at the church. He said every time there's church on Sunday, he'd be there early in the morning warming up the building. Midnight mass, he'd be making fires. But Gary said, "Oh, I didn't know that." Well, now he knows. His old grandpa was a big fire maker for the church. And so many things. So many leaders all over the place. We had so many. Like, lots of them weren't in council or elected. They were just leaders in their own way. So, but they're just proud to be here from here. And I hope we always stick together. We don't break apart like what's being talked about. You know, hope those things don't happen. We belong together. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chief. We're going to be honoring him a bit later too, so stick around for that. Before we get to the ribbon cutting, which is going to happen in a couple minutes here, I would like to give a gift to Ratchet and to Cordell here for their work, their hard work here. That was on behalf of Chief and Council. And one more thing, Richard Isaac from his company, Reimagine, is going to come up and present a gift to the Chief also. He's going to open it. Alan's going to open it. It's like Christmas. So while he's opening it, what's going to happen next is we have a couple of young people here named Samson Dieter and Dominic Dieter Morasti, who will be cutting the ribbon into the building. They'll stand over by the, they're already there. Oh, some people are there holding the ribbon. So as soon as this is done, some pictures. It's a very nice, beautiful painting. So according to my schedule, so the young people are over there ready to cut the ribbon. If you guys want to stand up and stretch and make your way over there.
Hello.